If you've been doom scrolling the sensational headlines lately, you'd probably think we're all just, seconds away from being replaced by machines. But today, we're totally dismantling that fear-mongering. Think of this explainer as your high-level executive briefing. I've personally combed through over 30 major research reports. We're talking MIT, Stanford, McKinsey, and insiders at top tech giants to really map out the actual reality of the 2025 job market. We're strictly looking at the hard data to uncover these highly lucrative, totally AI-resistant career paths that are emerging right now. Because honestly, the real story isn't humans versus AI. It's about how being uniquely human is actually your absolute greatest competitive advantage.
Okay, let's dive right into this. Here is our strategic executive roadmap for today. We're going to cover the 2025 AI data reality, human connection and creativity, emerging AI hybrid roles, the skilled trade renaissance, and finally, a 30-day integration roadmap. Let's get to it.
Kicking things off with Part 1, the 2025 AI data reality. Let's separate the facts from the fear.
We really need to cut through the media noise and look at the actual economic data. On one hand, you have all this doom and gloom out there, like Ford CEO Jim Farley boldly predicting that AI is going to replace half of all white-collar workers. Even Amazon is anticipating workforce reductions. But here's the crazy part. The absolute smartest tech CEOs are quietly doing the exact opposite. Companies like Google, Anthropic, and OpenAI, they're actually struggling to improve their models just by throwing more computing power at them. So what are they doing? They're going out and hiring thousands of human programmers, doctors, and lawyers, literally just to handwrite answers to train their AIs. It turns out the most advanced tech companies on the planet actually need more human intelligence, not less.
Now, what's really interesting about this is the actual hiring data. Listen to this number, 56%. According to PwC's 2025 Global AI Jobs Barometer, which analyzed nearly 1 billion job ads across 6 continents, by the way, workers with AI skills are now commanding a massive 56% wage premium. 56%! That's up from just 25% last year. Plus, the industries that are most exposed to AI, they're actually seeing 3 times higher revenue growth per employee. So, the data absolutely does not lie. AI isn't some corporate executioner, it's a massive economic multiplier.
Moving on to Section 2, human connection and how we leverage creativity and psychology.
So if AI is taking over all those routine, boring tasks, what's left for us? Well, research from Stanford and MIT shows that roles requiring deep human psychological analysis are becoming the absolute premium positions in the job market. MIT recently did this deep dive into human-AI complementarity, and they pinpointed exactly where we excel and where AI simply cannot compete. They call it the EPOC framework. It stands for empathy, presence, opinion or ethics, creativity, and hope or leadership. Let me be totally clear. These are not just your basic soft skills. In the 2025 economy, these are your ultimate economic power tools. These are the exact traits that make you completely irreplaceable.
And the Eskimos 2025 study brilliantly illustrates this point. They calculated what they call an AI resistance score, based on the need for real human interaction versus the likelihood of automation. Take lawyers. They score a perfect 100. Why? Because when you or I are facing a critical, life-altering legal situation, we demand human judgment. We need that interaction. There's no way we want a chatbot guiding us through a painful, complex legal process, right? Medical professions score a 93 because, again, they're making literal life-or-death decisions. HR managers, they're sitting at an 87 because they navigate incredibly complex human dynamics. The main takeaway here is that your complex judgment is your absolute competitive moat. But hey, it's not just doctors and lawyers. What about creators? Conventional wisdom was pretty much like AI is going to kill creativity. But the reality? It's completely fueling it. McKinsey data shows us that, sure, AI can generate content, but it cannot generate culture. It can make art, but it can't make meaning. Just look at these 2025 salaries for creative roles that know how to leverage AI. You've got creative directors pulling anywhere from $140,000 to $220,000. UX/UI designers are making up to $170,000. Brand architects are pushing $172,000. The creators who are winning right now are the ones who realize they have super agency. They aren't trying to compete with the machine, they're conducting it.
All right, on to Section 3, emerging AI hybrid roles. This is where proximity to AI really pays off.
These are the jobs that, honestly, didn't even exist a few years ago. And here's the secret. Most of these high-paying AI jobs aren't actually about building the next ChatGPT. They're all about implementation and collaboration.
We pulled data from 8 different industry sources, and these salary bands are just massive. AI implementation managers are commanding between $160,000 and $240,000. AI prompt engineers are pulling in up to $200,000, and AI ethics officers are seeing up to $220,000. The clear, undeniable pattern here is that proximity to AI technology practically guarantees both job security and a huge income. Businesses are desperately looking for humans to navigate these tools and upgrade their internal operations.
Which brings us to Section 4, the skilled trade renaissance. We're seeing a massive physical boom right now.
We've talked a lot about white-collar roles so far, but honestly, some of the most AI-proof careers right now don't even require a college degree. Prepare to be totally amazed by this number: 52%. That is the staggering economic growth rate for renewable energy technicians, and they're now pulling a median salary of $85,000 a year. We're also seeing this crazy high demand and rising wages for electricians, who are making a median of $78,000, and HVAC professionals making over $70,000. And that sector is growing by 15% annually. People with actual hands-on physical skills are experiencing a huge surge in demand.
So the crucial point is understanding exactly why AI fails so hard here. The research points out 3 main reasons: physical complexity, problem-solving in totally unpredictable environments, and customer interaction. Think about it. Robots are trained for very specific, highly controlled environments. If a pipe suddenly bursts under your house after a minor earthquake, a multi-million-dollar robot is literally just going to short-circuit in a puddle of water. Real-world, physical jobs require a messy, on-the-fly adaptability that AI simply doesn't possess.
Let's move to our final segment, Section 5, the 30-day Executive Integration Roadmap. Let's see how all this builds into an action plan.
If you're a corporate leader or really any professional looking to pivot, this right here is your immediate 30-day checklist. Step 1, develop those epoch skills we talked about: empathy, presence, opinion, creativity, hope. You've got to double down on the human element. Step 2, become a 10x AI multiplier. You do this by directing the machine, not trying to compete with it. Step 3, secure your digital footprint. And Step 4, position yourself in those growth intersections where human judgment meets AI output.
To really grasp the power of being a multiplier, check this out. Internal data from Microsoft shows that workers who actually learn to direct AI tools are seeing average productivity gains of 30 to 50%. That is huge. As the CEO of GitHub pointed out, when you use AI to 10x a single developer, a company doesn't just fire people, they actually hire more. Because suddenly 10 developers can do the work of 100. I mean, no sane company is going to turn down that level of growth. So your primary goal this month is to figure out exactly how AI makes you a multiplier.
But as you embrace all this new tech, you absolutely have to address Step 3 of our roadmap: securing your digital footprint. In a world where AI can scrape, amplify, and weaponize your data in literally seconds, privacy is no longer just optional. It is a critical executive skill. Data brokers are constantly scraping your phone numbers, your addresses, even your family's information, just to sell it to advertisers or worse, scammers. Using a privacy service like Delete Me to constantly scan those broker sites and wipe your personal data is a highly effective way to protect yourself from that kind of exposure. You've got to manage your digital footprint just as carefully as you manage your actual career.
Which leaves us with one final, pretty empowering thought to end on today. Are you competing with AI or are you conducting it? Because as we've seen from all the data today, venture capital, law, medicine, creative direction, they're all thriving specifically because they are built on human judgment, real relationships, and deep understanding. Being human is definitely not a liability in 2025. It's actually your ultimate superpower. So what steps will you take today to step up to the podium and start conducting? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I can't wait to explore the next big data reality with you soon.